What if I told you the most shocking signing of the summer just happened in Naples? A Premier League legend, one of the greatest passes football has ever seen, has just joined the Serie A champions. Kevin De Bruyne is now a Napoli player. And Italian football, it may never be the same again. They've done the impossible once, breaking a 33-year curse to win the Scudetto. But Napoli are not here to be one-hit wonders. No. They're here to build an empire. And what better way to send a message to the world than by signing a football genius? Kevin De Bruyne, the maestro, the magician, the man with a wand for a right foot. At 33, he's still bending games to his will, with 108 goals, 177 assists, and 16 trophies at Manchester City. He's not just elite, he's one of the greatest midfielders in the history of the game. And he's not coming to retire, he's coming to rule. Yes, the pace may have dipped, but De Bruyne's brain, still operating on a frequency few can reach. He sees gaps that don't exist, creates danger where others see safety. He could turn a game with one touch, one look, one idea. This transfer isn't just about goals or assists. It's about mentality. It's about fire. It's about bringing a serial winner into a team that now believes it belongs at the top. Napoli didn't just sign a player. They signed a symbol of ambition, of belief, of intent. Just like Pirlo proved Milan wrong when he moved to Juventus at 32, De Bruyne is here to silence anyone who dares to doubt him. He is Napoli's answer to complacency, a new heartbeat in midfield, a new conductor for their symphony. This isn't just a transfer, it's a signal flare fired into the sky of the Serie A. Napoli are not stepping aside. Napoli are here to dominate. Now this is what you call a statement signing. The one thing we know across the world of football is winning one league title is difficult. But going back to back is 10 times more difficult. You look at Inter, perfect example. They won the Scudetto last season, but they couldn't do it this season. This photo speaks 1,000 words. This is a photo of an owner putting that trust in his coach, in his manager. This is a photo that shows an owner trusting his coach. And it also shows a coach that's earned the right at Napoli to handpick whichever player he wants, as long as the price fits. But Kevin De Bruyne to Napoli is confirmed. And what a signing for Napoli. What a signing for Serie A. What a signing for Antonio Conte. What a signing for all of these Napoli players. You are signing a player that's arguably regarded as the best midfielder in the Premier League's history. And if he isn't the best midfielder in your eyes, he's definitely up there. This is a midfielder that brings you goals. He brings you assists. He brings you mentality. He brings you hard work off the ball. This is a player that's been coached for over a decade by Pep Guardiola. The school of thought, the knowledge, the in-game experience. Like for me, this is a game changer. And I'm seriously beginning to look at this Napoli team under Antonio Conte. There was a lot of discourse around Antonio Conte in the summer. Is he staying or is he leaving? There was a lot of discourse around De Laurentiis. Just imagine if De Laurentiis lets Antonio Conte go. Why? Because he doesn't want to fulfill his demands. He doesn't want to spend the cash. Napoli find themselves in an opportunity, in a position where they could seriously dominate the Serie A. When you look at their competitors as of last season, who did they really compete with? They competed with Inter. But Inter have lost Simone Inzaghi. Nobody knows what the future holds for somebody like Kivu in charge. So that's one competitor out the window. The second competitor was Atalanta. Gasperini is not there anymore. It's Ivan Juric. That's another competitor out the window. The third team that dragged themselves into the title race, even though it was very brief, was Juventus under Igor Tudor. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know how well and how long it would take him to implement his philosophy and whether or not he can get this team to compete from next season. This opportunity has fallen in Antonio Conte's lap to dominate the Serie A, to monopolize it. And he's being backed. I'll be honest with you guys. I've read a report today of them being linked with Bologna's Dutch centre-half Bukima. This is good business. They're currently linked with Yunus Musa. Not a player that I truly rate, but I understand. I understand the maths behind the deal. And Gisa is leaving. You need that physical powerhouse. You need that ball carrier. Yunus Musa, he fits the bill. The versatility. I'm looking at Conte and I'm saying you are building a very, very, very scary team. And the thing about Kevin De Bruyne, he's not coming to the Serie A to retire. He's not a 33-year-old that's won it all and now he wants to put his feet up. If that was the case, he had an offer from the MLS, which he decided to decline. he still came to one of the most intense, one of the most physical, one of the most demanding leagues in the world in the Serie A. And even this season, he made it crystal clear he wanted to stay at Manchester City. He still felt like he had so much more to offer in European football. But Pep Guardiola wanted to take this team into a completely different direction. And when you go and look at the recruitment that Manchester City have made this summer, you could see the direction is young, dynamic players, players that they can evolve and build a team around for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Kevin De Bruyne, age is not really on his side. But Kevin De Bruyne, the brain is still on his side. The technical ability is still on his side. The physical power is still on his side. And the fact that he's a winner and he's literally won everything there is in the game, he walks into a Napoli team that are also winners, that are also hungry, that are also looking at their competitors left and right, and they're not as strong. They could dominate. But how would he fit into this team? This is the perfect breakdown for you guys. So how will Kevin De Bruyne fit into an Antonio Conte team? At first glance, it was a surprise, but tactically, it makes a lot of sense. And the numbers prove it. This chart shows key pass accuracy versus goal creating actions per 90. And there's Kevin De Bruyne, firmly in the elite zone. Even at 33, he's still one of the most dangerous chance creators in the world of football. He sees the pass, executes with precision. Exactly what Conte's frontmen like Lukaku and a box runner like Scott McTominay thrive on. Conte's system may be structured, but De Bruyne gives it that chaos in the final third. Now look at this. Progressive passes versus progressive carries. De Bruyne is still one of the most balanced ball progressors in Europe. Conte's midfield demands verticality, and De Bruyne delivers it, with or without the ball. He breaks lines, drives forwards, and links defence to attack. Antonio Conte gives structure. De Bruyne gives imagination. Together, it's a perfect storm of discipline and creativity. This isn't just a marquee signing, it's a tactical upgrade. And if Conte unlocks him the right way, Napoli could dominate Serie A. Napoli could go back to back. This could be the beginning of a new and exciting era in Naples. Now those numbers should paint you the perfect picture as to what Kevin De Bruyne can still offer and what he can bring to this Napoli team, even at the age of 33. Playing in the most intense and physical league in the world, the most demanding of leagues in the world, he still had a solid campaign. Whenever Pep Guardiola called upon him, he delivered. And he's now coming at the age of 33, yes. Physically, he's declined, but he's not coming to a very physical league. The Serie A, it's more tactical. It's more about technical ability. It's more about what you can do in possession and how you can handle the games. It's a more technical and mental league than the Premier League. And the one thing about Kevin De Bruyne at the age of 33, yes, physically, he might be declining, but mentally he isn't. Technically, he isn't. And those numbers speak for themselves. Antonio Conte has just gotten his hands on his primary weapon. Like, this guy is a game changer. A game-changing signing for Conte, for Napoli fans, for those Napoli players. The opportunities he's going to create, the goals he's going to score. As long as his minutes are managed, this might be a signing that we look back on in 12 months' time and say, this was the signing that won Napoli the Scudetto. This is the signing that helped Napoli go back to back. This is the signing that started an era of domination by Napoli. And I feel like this is just the beginning. They've got the cash. They look hungry. They look eager to impress. They look eager to succeed. They're about to build themselves a team which might rule for the next 2 to 3 years. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, always engage in the comments, and I will catch you guys on another one.